So I just watched the video of No Jumper, and I seen AD. He just stood up for Poetic Flakko, as he's been doing. He's been standing up for Poetic Flakko. He's been keeping it a stack. Sometimes AD doesn't want to bite the hand that feeds him, but you can see AD is not just some former gangbanger or, you feel me, something like that. AD as an individual is going to speak his piece and let people know how he feels. I guess Adamn, House Phone, Lush One, and AD was on a segment together, and they brought up the Poetic Flakko situation. Let's just not even hold none of y'all. They brought up the Poetic Flakko situation, and everybody is trying to blame Flakko except AD. I'm going to break it down. First of all, we had a beautiful night last night. We had Mary J. Blige versus Tony Braxton. Classic night. Phenomenal. We are keeping hip-hop alive over here. Classic night, ladies and gentlemen. So now, fast forward to all this hoopla. You got a situation with rage, anger, and people allegedly being bullied. You got Poetic Flakko. Since he came on the No Jumper platform, he was the punching bag. Dudes like me was one of the first people to tell him the truth. Before Pun from Cub Community, because Pun from Cub Community and Trey from Pun Community said some real ish. You just got to go to work tomorrow and educational purpose punch somebody in the face. And I know what they mean by that. It doesn't mean physically just punch somebody in the face. And even if it means that, the whole analogy of that punch somebody in the face, they're meaning stand up for yourself, my God. You're on here, you're stressing, and then AD just released information that Flakko was crying when he called AD. That actually did make me feel bad. Normally, I don't give a damn about another man who's crying out here. The Most High gave us strength, but Flakko is a different situation. Not all of us born in the same predicaments or whatever outcome. So a dude like Flakko, he's jolly and he's mellow. I do hate when people mess with the dude in the office or the dude in the room or in the family who got the best heart, who got the best character. Well, I don't want to say the best character. That's pushing it way too much. I don't know who Flakko is when that camera go off. So let's leave character out of it and just say good heart and doesn't really talk ish about his co-host. So Adamn starts arguing with AD, and he brings up the fact that when we decided to put Flakko on the screen and put him on No Jumper, we decided to basically make him own up to where he's really from and all that. So through the minds of House Phone, Lush One, AD, and I'm pretty sure Gina and Almighty Suspect as well, they're just coming at Flakko in a normal way where it gets checked by AD. AD is like, I guarantee you if it was me, y'all would not do that to me. And you hear some of them saying, well, if it's where you from, but AD gets more animated to let it be known, if it was me, you guys would not do that. And I know me, myself, if I worked at the No Jumper office, I'm going to just let y'all know right now, I'm not Poetic Flakko. This is not no threat. This is not no violence, but I'm with AD. Y'all wouldn't do that to me. Even if I know y'all would do it to me, trust me, you wouldn't do that. It's just a lot of things I could do with that right there. Either get rich or go get some stripes out here. That's all we're going to leave it at. And I fuck with No Jumper. I'm talking about that sheer level of embarrassment. I'm not talking about No Jumper as a whole, as a company, because I watch them fools, you feel me? And no disrespect to Adamn, I don't watch No Jumper for Adamn only. I watch them as a collective. I like seeing different personalities. I like seeing different characters because it builds. They start gradually growing with you. You start having your favorites on the show. It becomes like a TV series. Forget about the hip hop content. It becomes, and it formulates into a way where those individuals become the actual content. The Adams, the House Phones, the Lush, the Josh, the Yuri, the ADs, the Smacks, the T-Rels, the Ginas, the Poetic Flakko, no pun intended. They become the actual situation. But yeah, I had some people making noise in the back, but they become the actual content. And where Adamn don't realize is doing that type of move is like junkie stunt. Because that type of move could have been addressed and handled first behind the scenes. Flakko clarified who he is. He explains, he examines more, and he gets into the situation. And then after you guys finish breaking all this down to Flakko behind the scenes, then he can formulate his own decision should he take this online with the No Jumper platform or not. And that was my only thing. Was this even brought up to Flakko before it was brought up to him online? Now, when you're online ain't nobody here to hold your hands. A lot of things happen to people online. You know what I mean? When it's online, a lot of things happen online, meaning that you're going to have people with a situation they're going to throw at you live on air or whatever. You got to be ready and you know how to handle that. So I'm not going up against that and going against the grain with that. I'm just merely saying that when it comes from your own employees, see, coming from trolls and everybody else is different. Coming from your own employees as a setup, that's wild. I could see if AD and, I mean, not AD, but Lush One, Gina, and Suspect was in a regular conversation with Flakko, and this happened to come out as far as Flakko, one of the co-hosts, and his peers, and then they, you know, ask him that question, hey, bro, are you really from here? Then, yeah, he would have to answer that and all that. But it's how Lush calls old boy at 4:15 and then calls Flakko at 4:52 or whatever Flakko said. It's like the setup already was in hand. But AD clearly don't like bullies. AD is like me. He can't stand the bullies. He's going to let the message be known. You feel me? I'm over here visiting some friends right now. I'm not at the house, but when I get back to the house, I'll be making a better hip-hop videos, more content. But I just wanted to speak about this because I said I didn't want to talk about it anymore. But it was refreshing to see AD be the voice of reason. I seen many people in the comments talking about they never would have thought AD was the voice of reason. Well, that means you're either stereotyping educational purpose people who look like me, or you've never really watched No Jumper. AD has always been the voice of reason. He's a dude that come from a real background. I mean, not saying none of us are real or not, but y'all know what hostile background AD comes from. You feel me? Salute the Cub community. And he choose to do different. He choose to be himself. And ain't that something amazing? When you be yourself, look what happened. Ain't God great? So AD is going back and forth with Adamn still. And they love each other. He got love for Adamn, but I'm not about to be in a friendship with anybody if I can't tell you the truth. And that's what's going on with AD. He's one of them real ones who's going to let you know this is unacceptable. We can do X, Y, Z, what we want to do with Lush. I mean, with Poetic Flakko. But to do what we got going on here is crazy. It's crazy. So I got to take that away. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things. Hang on, y'all. Hey, can y'all go somewhere else? I'm making a video, please. Sorry, my nephews and nieces and cousins and kids. It's chaos right now, but I love hearing the sounds of kids when you wake up. It's energy. Love all my kids and nieces and nephews. They my kids too. Now let's keep fast forward with AD. AD is in a situation where he just showed you what being a man is. Being a man is a full-time job. You gotta stand on your P's and Q's. Any little thing can tarnish you and who you are and break down who you are. And then from what Poetic Flakko was saying, that they were spreading rumors on his name that he did an educational purpose sexual situation to somebody, a charge or whatever. And he said he's going to protect his father's name. His father would do the same. And you know, he asked Lush One for the fade. Where Poetic Flakko messed up at, I wish he would have asked Almighty Suspect for the fade. Factual. You were sitting right next to Almighty Suspect and you pick and choose to get the fade from Lush One. I'm not mad at you for trying to get a fade from Lush One. He spread a rumor you stink and all that, and he seems to don't like you either. So do your thing, but ask everybody for a fade. Ask Lush One for a fade, but definitely Almighty Suspect for a fade ASAP. I think that would have been the kicker, because Suspect was laughing in your face. And I know I'll put my money on you versus Suspect. I put my money, I don't hate Suspect, but he act way too hard for me. He acts super hard, bro. I could watch him. He's hilarious. Salute to his dad. But if anybody love Almighty Suspect, calm down the tough guy character, because you're a cool dude. I like what you do. I don't want to hear when I wake up somebody did something to you because they dislike this hard act, bruh. And at the end of the day, I put my money on Flakko if you two were to fight. Them trunk legs and elephant arms, I really believe it'll do some damage if it catch Suspect. My personal opinion, though, is just that any big man can lose a fight when they don't have confidence, and Flakko ain't got no confidence. So I don't know about his hands as far as confidence, but his physical built size or whatever, he can handle them. He just need to do what he did today, and he asked Lush for a fade. Go ask everybody for the fade. And while he's at it, He need to ask Adamn for that fade too, bro. Me personally. Because look, Adamn and them playing with his name like that, it would have been better if they just fired the man. And I know Adamn probably likes him. They probably need him. I don't know. But then you see certain things are done and you got to question yourself. Do they even want him around? If you don't want this dude around, just get rid of him, man. I'm just being honest. I'm saying that respectfully for Flakko. I'll look at it as a badge of honor. I got fired from the No Jumper platform to do my own thing. But you won't hear that from me, bro. I'm self-made, self-bought, bro. Yeah, Flakko, when you get your own platform, you need to understand it's not going to be big like your No Jumper friends platforms. It's not going to be big like the academics. But you need to be proud for what you put in work in. That's why all you people who are trying to fast track through this industry, you have to fall in love with yourself and your work first. You can't move forward if you don't love your work. I've heard you tell people that your plan is not to stay doing this at all for a while. I'm being a hip-hop journalist. You don't even want to be called that and all that. But that's where your first mistake at. How are you doing investigative work, but you don't really like this? Find something that you have a niche in. Find something you're in love with and do it. Because you say you're just using this whole YouTube thing to promote a production company. I'm not mad at it. We all have things we use as a capital to gain what we need, to build what we want. But the problem is you're in a field that if you're not in love with it, you end up turning into a Poetic Flakko. If you're not in love with this field you're in, you got to get out or it will break you, bro. And this ain't for you, bro. Now, if it is, everybody have a chance to change, but you openly said it. Not me. It don't matter if I get 1 view or thousands of views. I'm in love with every view I get because I earned that view. I created something out of nothing, and now people like it and watch. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people or thousands of people or millions of people, and that's the first step in being a content creator. The ability to understand you created something out of nothing. You are now a creator, and it's a wonderful feeling. And a lot of you people on YouTube don't have the feeling that I have for creating things. So you don't get to have fun doing this internet stuff. Look at you guys breaking down, hating each other. Man, it's like Games of Thrones in real life with you YouTube clowns. And it's not just one particular segment. It's the black sector, the conscious sector, the hip hop sectors, the battle rap sectors. All you people are not really in love. You can tell who's doing their content creations, who's in love with this YouTube ish. I am. I'm without a doubt. You'll see 10 people in my room or thousands of people, and I'm still smiling, still going hard in the paint. Last night, we just did a versus Mary J. Blige versus the wonderful Tony Braxton. We didn't wait for other groups to make a versus happen. We made it happen. We did it the right way, and the whole night felt like nostalgia to see all these men and women just talking to each other, hollering at each other, just enjoying the company of each other with nobody talking about kids or if you from Philadelphia or North Dakota, all this sucker-ish. We just vibing. I hope somebody educational purpose got pregnant, continued their legacy. Somebody met a wife, a wonderful woman met a husband. That's the night we do, bro. We vibe over here. We use the internet what it's supposed to be for. You feel me? Look, man, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, man. Love your family, love your kids, and always remember to stay blessed.